Hello everyone. So, I am the daughter of a lesbian. And there's been a lot of talk about gays and lesbians and everything here lately. My thing is, I was raised by two women. My mother had me when I was 6 years old when I went to live with her and Sheila. And Sheila was pregnant at the time. And then a year later, of course, she had Jeffrey. And she was always my mom, Sheila. And my mom was like my dad, the short hair. It was very difficult because even though I had a mom, I had two moms. And then all my friends that would come over and visit would say, "Where's your dad?" And I would just laugh and say, "I don't know." And by no means at all did I have a rough childhood because I was raised by two women. I had a rough childhood by the way people projected me with not having a father. Of course, everyone has a father. If you're born, you have a father somewhere. It's not that you miraculously came upon this earth. You have a father. Mine just was not in my life. I had two mamas. I have lots of stories about it and how it affected my life and how different people treated me in different circumstances. And I'm going to tell y'all the story of me being the daughter of a lesbian and how my life is now. But I'm going to do it slowly. I'm going to be very detailed and into it. And I hope everybody watches. We'll start with when I was born. My mom used to put me in a car. And I'm not going to do all this at once. It's way too much. I am an old woman right now. My mama would put me in a car when I was born. And take me riding around with her as a newborn. She said that she would push people out of the front seat so that I could sit there. And so I always longed to be close to my mom. And it would turn out good reasons. I'm not sure how long she kept me, but my grandmother had started raising me. And when I was little, that's all I could remember was living with my grandmother. I don't know when my mom gave me to her. But my grandmother and my aunts did most of my raising up until I was 6 years old. I remember Mama coming in one night, and my mother always had really long hair. It was way down past her booty and almost to her knees. And this man came walking in the house. Man, I had to be like 3 or 4 years old. I was really little. And I remember watching this man walk through the house. And he reached down, smiled at me, gave me a kiss. And my mama was like, and my mother was very well endowed, and I didn't know it was my mom until she started getting undressed. But first she took her hair out of a wig, and all of her hair fell down to the ground, and she had short hair like this, and in a man's cut. And she had taken her shirt off, and she was unwrapping herself so that her breast would be flat. And she was in men's clothing. And so by all means, when she walked in the door, she looked just like a man. And I just remember that so clearly, to sit there watching her transform from a man back into a woman. And it just always stuck in my mind that my mom could be both. Looky there, my mom can be both. My mama had a roommate. She had really long hair also, and she would come get me from my grandmother's house, and I would get to go there and visit on weekends or something. I didn't go every weekend though. I only got to go every now and then. But Mama would sit up, and she was always, with a big, strong, manly-looking top. And Diane had long hair and was pretty. And they would take me to Diane's family, and I would visit with them. And I was like their child together. But every time she would meet me, like when Diane introduced me to her father or her brother, I was always fascinated by men. I just wanted to stare at them. The same way with my aunts and their husbands. I always wanted to hang out with the men because I longed for a man in my life, someone to call my father. And I always did. Mom and Diane, they didn't last long, but I remember when I was 6 years old, Mama coming over to my mama's house and telling my grandmother that I would no longer be living with her, that I would be moving in with her and Sheila. Sheila was someone that we had never met, so my mama picked me up, packed all my belongings, and took me from a loving, caring place that I had with my grandmother and my grandfather, and woofed me off to live with her and Sheila. And Sheila was pregnant, and I was thrilled to have my mommy back. For those people who have both their parents all the time, when you're 6 years old and you're living with your grandparents, and it's not your parents, it's your grandparents, and your aunts and uncles and your cousins all come over, and your cousins all live with their moms and dads. You're just thrilled when your mom is paying attention to you and you get to live with her. I longed for my mom's attention all the time. I was always, where's Mom? Is Mommy coming to visit me today? I looked forward to those weekends, so now that I was living with her, I was just ecstatic. And her and Sheila shared a bedroom, and they kissed and hugged in front of me. And when Sheila had Jeffrey, it was presented as, this is your brother. So now I have a brother. So I went to school. Everything was really good. I was with my mom, both my moms, and I have a brother. So there was a lot that happened in between there, but this is all I have time for today. I just want to let y'all know that I will be continuously telling stories about my life growing up, the daughter of a lesbian. So stay continued. Thanks.